Okay.
Hey, morning everyone. It's my privilege to announce the Vodacom Bull side against Zebre. Number 1, Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Number 2, Marco van Staden. Number 3, Wilco Lou. Number 4, Ruan Vermaak. Number 5, Jay van Heerden. Number 6, Marcel Coetzee and captain. Number 7, Jandre Rudolph. Number 8, Cameron Hannekom. Number 9, Paul de Wet. Number 10, Willie Leroux. Number 11, Sergio Peterson. Number 12, Harold Foster. Number 13, Kanan Moody. Number 14, Cheswell Jooste. Number 15, Kurtley Arendse. Number 16, Johan Groblaar. Number 17, Gerard Steenekamp. Number 18, Francois Klopper. Number 19, Kobus Wiese. Number 20, Mpilo Gumedi. Number 21, Ambrose Papier. Number 22, Andre Pollard. And number 23, Stetman Gans.
Thanks, Coach. Guys, you should have it in your WhatsApp already.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Okay.
Corey. Ja, dankie.
Thanks, Coach.
Ek is as mens so met die eerste oog op slagsmense op. Mens so luister na die span, eerste indruk wat jy kry is so half 'n proefloopie span. Maar steeds 'n baie goeie span, jy weet dit is 'n ervare span, is net daar's 'n paar ouens wat nou Kurtley op heel agter, Marco wat begin kans kry Baker.
Ja. Ons het letterlik gedink, weet, ergens verdien hierdie ouens wat heeltyd op die bank opkom en 'n verskil maak. Kom ons gee vir hulle, weet, 'n tyd kry bietjie game time waar hulle begin. Sit hulle in daai scenario waar hulle begin, jy weet nooit as jy ergens iemand nodig het nie. So ons het letterlik ons bank eintlik maar net opgesit en ons ouens wat gewoonlik begin kom van die bank af. Die enigste ding is Kurtley se scenario is nou op ons afgedwing met 'n besering van David af. David Kriel, so die realiteit is ons wil maar net ons diepte daar op 15 kyk, want ons het nog vir Devin en dan wil jy die laaste tyd meer 10 gespeel, so ons wil net kyk hoe as ons so in so 'n scenario is, wie gaan 15 speel.
Oh, okay. Jandre op 7. Ja, hy het ook net maar net 'n kans en dan Cameron op 8 om net weer sy bene te laat vind.
Ja, ons voel Cameron moet aanhou speel. Ek dink hy's nou maar eers op game 5 vandat hy terug is, so hy word al hoe beter. Marcel natuurlik weet ons is in goeie vorm en toe moet ons maar besluit waar hy 7 gaan speel en Mpilo doen net vir ons baie goeie goed van die bank af, baie energie, waar Jandre is meer jou 80 minute, jy weet hy so, ek wil amper sê hy het die vermoë om deur 80 minute te kom. So dit gee vir ons die opsie, hy kan 6-8 speel, Mpilo kan 8-7 speel. Ja, ons het net gevoel dat vir ons 'n goeie balans. Ek weet daar's nie 'n tradisionele 7 nie, maar ek dink die drie sal mekaar mooi aanvul.
Okay, a bit more different question, but Cameron was injured before you started taking over. He's come back into the Bulls. How's he adjusting to your style of play now? You know, the new kind of thing.
No, I think he's done well. Cameron is a very intense player. Like he does so much homework. He does so much, individual stuff. He's always, hard on his detail and getting his details. So he was one of the first players who sat with Neil and, understand what his role is but ultimately I think the best for him is to get minutes under the belt but from a playing perspective he slotted in easily because he's so good athlete and he's so good in putting in the hard work, learning and understanding his role. And obviously number 8 has got a big role in our system, so he's settled in nicely.
Number 5, JF. I mean, that's obviously for the future. Rion now leaving is JF saying no to the Stormers. Thank you, thank you very much. And is that's part of that?
Yeah, again, I must make it clear that we're not underestimating Zebre. This team, like I said, it's all the guys that was on the bench that we give a starting, getting minutes into them. Jan Marco has played 25, 30, 35, 20, somewhere you need to get them ready also to play longer if you need them going forward. So we got a lot of respect for Zebre and what they can bring. And again, if you analyze them, they just unlucky sometimes, small margins. But Ruan felt his hamstring in Scarlets, and then obviously last week we were off, and then on Monday there was just that subtle little symptom still, nothing that probably if we had to play him, we could have played him, and especially now by Friday the symptom has gone and he's testing well and everything, but we just felt, this is a squad effort. If we don't put trust in JF now, when will we put trust in him? So why risk a player if there's a little bit of doubt? So JF, we got a lot of faith, and he's going to run the lineouts for us and get his playing opportunity. And then next week we know there's no questions around Ruan. He'll be ready by Monday, fully ready, and it makes it just easier.
And then you're probably going to be keeping a close eye on what's happening in Durban. And Benetton surprised Leinster the other day. They're also not, and you're looking forward to that game.
Yeah, again, we have to obviously overcome tomorrow first. That's the priority, to keep ourselves in the run for playoffs, and where we're going to finish and how we're going to finish. That's out of our hands, but it starts tomorrow. But then if you do look a little bit ahead, Benetton again, we had a little bit of look of them already, trying to get ahead of for next week's planning, but quality side, play a very good brand of rugby. They push every team to the limit, and if they don't beat, it's also just small margins. They've got a lot of Italian international players in their squad, and just a nuggety quality team. So this is definitely not as easy as people perceive out there. You're playing two sides that's at the bottom. That's definitely not the case. We will have to play good rugby.
Akkers, dit voel soos 2-3 weke terug dat ons hier gesit het en jy moes vraag beantwoord het oor 'n verlore kultuur en verdediging wat nie goed is nie. Nou is julle in 'n posisie waar julle met 2 sterk vertonings baie maklik nog onder die top 4 kan eindig. Jy moet baie tevrede wees met hoe die seisoen vir julle tot dusver uitgedraai het na daai moeilike tyd in die begin van die jaar.
Nee, verseker Kobus, het maar alles genade. Die spelers bly in 'n ou glo, en die Neil se werk en al die mense om ons, die medies en die res van die coaches en almal het bly werk en bly hou ondersteun. En ons is dankbaar dat ons in 'n mate die skip kon draai, maar dit sal net soveel beter wees as ons in die volgende 2 weke kop hou en goeie resultate kan kry, en dan sal dit voel of mense regtig die seisoen bietjie gedraai het. Want ek dink daar was maar altyd van die begin af 'n verwagting dat die Bulle moet in die uitspele speel. Dit is maar net te verstaan oor wat hulle reg gekry het. Dit is nie altyd so maklik nie as jy gaan kyk. Baie keer verlore ou, ek voel vir Scarlets byvoorbeeld, toe ons na die tyd met hulle coaches praat, ek kon in Dwayne Peel se gesig sien, dit is nog 'n game wat hulle met 'n punt of 2 verloor het. Toe sê hy vir my, dis hulle 7de, 8ste game. Wen jy dit, dan is jou seisoen anders. So ons was ook rig teen die muur, en ons het hierdie geleentheid om nou, ek wil die seisoen totaal en al beter te laat lyk. Ons het nog niks bereik nie, so ek kan nog nie sê hy gaan goed wees nie. Maar ja, die realiteit is ons is beter af as waar ons was, en dis te dank aan die spelers, die leiers, wat Roan en Marcel hulle, en daar is soveel ouens in die span wat heeltyd positief gebly het, en dit help, so net dankbaar, net regtig dankbaar dat ons dit kon doen.
Coach, if I may ask a question, is tomorrow Ambrose has a chance to surpass Joost for scrum half appearances with Vodacom Bulls. How influential and important has he been to your cause?
No, it'd be massive. Obviously Ambrose, I've known him from school, as he played with my son, and he was outstanding at school, and then he obviously took it forward as a professional player, and since I joined, he's a very quiet person, but he's an exceptional 9, he's got all the abilities, for me personally, he's got, and probably the one outstanding factor is his support play and his speed, and the fact that he's in so good form for us, that helped, because a lot of the games was influenced with his play. So for that achievement, to achieve that to pass US is quite a big achievement. You know, it means you have to be consistently playing well to be picked, and because US was obviously the world's best 9, and there was no doubt that he would have been picked in any team. So for Ambrose to challenge that record is massive, to show that a lot of people before me and myself sees those qualities in him. So that's a massive achievement.
Thanks, coach.
As ek
Yeah.
as ek daarbey kan aansluit, Akkers met van die beseerdes onder die bokskramskakels, weet jy of daar enige kommunikasie van Saru of Rassie se kant af was met Ambrose?
Ek dink hulle het al kontak gemaak met hom, ja.
Sal jy is seker verras wees as hulle nie gegee die rugby wat hy speel, dat hy nie iewers
Ja,
feature nie.
kyk, hy was nou, daar was nie weer 'n kamp van al die beserings af nie, maar hulle het al kontak gemaak met hom. En jy weet, so ek seker van hulle hou oog op hom. Hulle het vir hom met hom gepraat oor die goedjies wat hy nou moet kyk, en dis goeie nuus vir ons. Beteken hulle begin na hom kyk, maar jy weet, niks is verseker nie. Ek dink Grant Williams is op pad amper reg, en ek weet nie van die res nie, so hulle sal, ek weet, Rassie, hulle sal hulle squad kies soos wat hulle goed dink, maar ja, hopelik kan Ambrose net aanhou speel soos hy speel, en die res is we'll see, dis buite sy beheer.
Ja.
Just with the news of Jan Serfontein calling it quits, 12 is becoming a bit of an issue statement on the bench now. Is he at 12? Is he at 13? What's the planning forwards, for 12?
Yeah, at this current season, we're obviously a bit thin now. Again, we'll hopefully Harold will get through all the games and he's in good form. But then Steedman has luckily played a bit of 12 and played well there, so he'll give us an option there. And then we still believe that Andre can also play 12 if we need to. And then we'll see. We've got some good young talent coming through. Our under-20s and under-23s. PR van die Kerk is still there, and Pieter van der Merwe and Christian Foster is still there. So that's all guys who either played SA under-20 or played a Currie Cup, and guys that we do believe got good future. So we've seen now with the Sharks, if we have to go that route, we will have to go. But David is obviously a loss for us, and then Jan. That's first of all, he would have played if he was fit, but he's injured now, and that's the reason why he's also not available. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, things will work in our way that we can finish with the team that we got.
And will you give those young guys a shot, even at the late stage of the season? I
don't think we'll have a choice. Again, Stravino is almost fully fit, probably a week, at most 2 weeks away. I think he's got the ability to play 12 with his power running. So we'll see. This is now, we're talking about worst case scenario, and we're thinking a bit out of the box now. But we'll see when we're there. I think even a guy like Kanan can play 12 just purely because of his size and his understanding like the game. But again, now we talk a lekker rugby talk. Let's hopefully Harold will just do the job.
Ek kan net sê ek kan ook as jy my korttermyn kontrak, ek sê baie stadig.
Sorry I was late. Victoria joke, I'm going to ask about the team, which is probably going to ask you to repeat yourself. So just the loose trio, how much of that was it's guys that can fetch and carry, all three of them.
Yeah.
How much of it was necessity, and how much of it was the opposition?
No, it was purely just the way we thought. They deserve an opportunity, and then who will bring the most impact from the bench, and then obviously it's a combination we would like to see how it goes. Each guy's got his different strengths. Like I think we all see Jandre Rudolph as a guy that's hard on the ball, but he's the guy that probably gets the most line breaks as well with his carries. And then Cameron has got the ability as well to carry well and to steal ball. And then Marshall is your out and out fetcher and also a big carrier for us. So we just looked at availability, and then who will how do we think the game will go, and then obviously who can bring what. So this is a bit of a new combination for us, but it's one that we're exciting to see how they play.
And just from a psychological perspective, without jinxing you guys, obviously, I think us in the media kind of assume that the next 2 games are, you know, taken care of, which obviously all of us know better than to think. But when you do make it into the last 8, how do you how do you feel the other teams are going to feel about it? Because I think it might have been sort of comforting for them when you guys were losing 7 games in a row to think, well, we don't have to worry about the Bulls in the top 8. You now kind of look as probably the one team that nobody wants to play against, and obviously it probably takes off a little bit of pressure from last year, where you guys went all the way to the final and so on. So how do you guys sort of, from a psychological perspective, how do you look at yourselves? Because I think the opposition aren't going to be.
Yeah, Sim, I must be honest with you. I don't say this because it's the easy answer, but I say it with all respect. I just don't look at the lock, and I just don't think beyond what can and if. I'm still under pressure. That's the reality. Until we haven't get over this next game, and then then obviously we'll put our focus on Benetton. The judgment will be out. Because obviously that's the reality. The team was at a high, and they're not there yet. So I haven't thought about where we sit and how teams perceive us. The one thing I've said it numerous times when we were overseas and we did the media is, I do believe if we can get a foot in the playoffs, we can beat any team. It's not going to be easy, but I do believe we can, and that's probably the thing that the other sides will worry a bit. Not to say that, I'm saying it, but just the fact that I think we got the quality. It's just we made it quite difficult for ourselves not to already be sure that we're in the playoffs, and that's why for us to focus on Zebri and first, and then obviously Benetton is probably the most important thing we can do. And then anything can happen after that. We don't know who we're going to play, and that top 8 is just looking at the lock is so bunched. It means that any team can beat any team, and that's the reality. So even though we believe we can win any team, that we won't, that team can beat us as well. So there's no guarantees.
Guys, we happy?
Yeah.
Coach, thank you.
Dankie julle. Thanks a lot.
Good luck.